Maestro Soul is a story about a talented musician named Luca, who once had a bright future in the music industry. He is the creator of deep, emotional music that everyone loves. But fate tested Luca when he suffered from blindness, gradually losing his vision. His illness became more and more serious, making him unable to continue composing music. This loss caused Luca to sink into despair and give up his passion. One day, while Luca was wandering through the city, he met an orphan boy named Marco, singing love tunes on the side of the road. Even though life is not very favorable, Marco is always radiant and full of energy. The boy's strength and faith evoked memories of music in Luca's heart. Deciding to find his passion again, Luca began teaching Marco how to play musical instruments. In the process, they not only impart knowledge about music but also share about life, faith, and the power of the spirit. Gradually, Marco not only learned how to play music but also realized that a strong spirit and determination can overcome all difficulties. Practicing together is not only about learning music but also a journey to improve Luca's spirit and revive his faith and passion. Finally, in a large-scale performance, Luca and Marco perform a magical musical composition together. The combination of talent, determination, and faith creates a beautiful rhythm, sending a message about the strength of the spirit and the human ability to overcome all obstacles. Since then, Luca has understood that, despite any difficulties in life, the human spirit can always be enhanced and revived thanks to faith, passion, and support from those around him. The window in Luca's small studio room was wide open, letting in the sun and wind, but the storm in his soul constantly reminded him of the blind notes of life. For a long time, he lived in darkness, feeling like the artist's being lost everything as his eyes faded. But in the midst of despair, an encounter with Marco changed everything. Marco, an orphan boy with a bright smile, seems to carry within him an unending ray of hope. The meeting of these two souls is not only an intersection between two generations, but also a connection between a fading passion and the desire to find life again. By teaching Marco to play a musical instrument, Luca not only imparted knowledge but also revived his passion. Practice sessions are not only about learning music but also become a journey to rediscover yourself, rediscovering the magic of music in your heart. As the days passed, Marco not only learned how to play music but also learned that a resilient spirit and determination can make a person overcome any challenge. Practice sessions together are hours of musical enjoyment, an opportunity for Luca to impart lessons about faith and spiritual strength. And after a series of endless efforts, Luca and Marco perform together in a large-scale music event. The stage is large, but their hearts are immersed in the notes, creating a beautiful rhythm. Luca's blurred eyes were no longer a burden, but became an inspiration for every note he led, and the final piece was a message about the power of patience and the ability to overcome all difficulties. When the stage lights turned off, applause rang out as a tribute to a glorious journey of the human spirit. Luca, from someone who had given up on his passion, revived and rediscovered himself in music, along with Marco, the little boy who became a model of perseverance and faith that never fades. Two souls created a miracle, a life lesson about never giving up faith and the desire to pursue passion. There were cheers and cheers from the audience on stage. The red light shined brightly, falling on the happy faces of Luca and Marco, who used music to lift their spirits, sending a message about the power of faith and determination. Music lovers stood up, applauding not only the magical music that Luca and Marco performed, but also the power of the human spirit itself. On stage, Luca is not only a talented musician but also a symbol of resilience, never giving up, and the ability to overcome all difficulties. And in the crowd, there was a boy who looked admiringly at Luca and Marco. It was another child, a new ray of hope. Luca realized that, just as Marco had been a source of encouragement, helping him rediscover his passion, now his heart had inspired another soul. Luca's eyes on that child were a new promise about the continuation of the musical legacy, about spreading passion and spiritual strength to the next generation. And finally, when the stage lights turned off, Luca and Marco still held each other's hands, symbolizing their connection not only in music but also in their trust and strength.